my name is Meleanna Meyer. I am keikiokia aina nei wahana ma Oʻahu. I'm a he keiki no koʻolau poko. And being born and raised here in Kailua, being raised there, I am the second of 7 children of Emma and Harry Meyer. How can you describe kōkua to people? So aloha is as many things as God is. And when you think about unconditional loving, what does that really mean? It's the broad, it's the embodied, it's the brilliance of love, compassion, empathy, and it's pretty extraordinary. So for me, it's all of those things. It's very deep and very resonant and profound. It's all of those things. Yeah.
What do you feel, one of the things you mentioned during your talk today was why would you do something if there wasn't a purpose?
Yeah, because one of my teachers, Auntie Lynette, always spoke about and speaks about to this day, form, function, and essence. And those things are not mere words, they're challenges from the kupuna, from the ancestors, to do work that has meaning, so that if you take a form like this umeke, its function is to also hold things that are precious, of water, of mea'ai, poi, of other special or precious, delicious things. So this bowl, this umeke, has a function, and its essence is created by memories, by good thoughts, by intentions. And so that's basically what I've really tried to instill in my work.
Wonderful. And since you're showing your film tomorrow, you said,
right?
Can you tell me a little bit about your film? So if we're showing that, we're going to have something like, how did you get inspired to do it? What was your role in it?
Sure. It's a piece that is important for me, as all things Hawaiian are, because the culture and the people, we all are in need of a hand up for others to understand our situation, what the community needs are. And ho'okuikahi, which means to unify as one, was a piece that was given to me, again, by Spirit, in the sense that I did ask Spirit, like, so now what do you want me to do? And this was in 1991. And I ran into Sam Ka'ai, who is a beloved kumu as well. He's a master woodcarver from Maui. And so he's been a part of all of these protocols and this ceremony at Pu'ukohola Heiau. And coincidentally, Halimakua was part of that. So when I was working on the film, I was asked to do the film. So it's like, oh, great. I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I did have to really do some huge work and growing into the responsibilities of the film, because it is a documentary about Hawaiian ways, renewal, repair, and all of these things that have become part of my life. So it's been great to be able to go, okay, just keep saying yes, and Spirit will provide, and I'll be doing things that are meaningful for the rest of my life. So it's been like that, yeah.
Well, and that's a good point. It makes me think about how, the sensitivity of recording people's stories.
Right.
I have a master's in cross-cultural studies and focusing on the ethical protocols of working with Indigenous people. Can you mention anything to people about what is important about recording people's stories, and does it depend on who they are, where they come from? Like, what are some of the main protocols that you follow? Yeah,
it doesn't so much depend on who they are, as in everyone has a story and a voice, or where they come from, so much as there's respect, and the mutual respect also given, and the permission asked. Because for me, when I do work in our community, you always ask permission, and that is like critical and foremost. And if the answer is no, the answer is no. It isn't to push, it isn't to do anything else but to listen well. So for me, culturally, even in culture, we have those protocols to pay attention to that are really important, like listen. And if they say no, they mean no. That's it. So I have been in situations where my teachers have said no, and then it's put down the camera and just be present. So it's really critical to listen to that part of an interviewee and an interviewer's experience or rapport. Because if you don't have that trust, then you really have nothing. And you always want to inspire that in the people you're working with and get to know them in some way or capacity so that you can instill that trust. Yeah.
Can you think of, is there a person off the top of your head where you're the most grateful for them being willing to share their story, where it meant a lot to you, maybe it means a lot to the community because of their knowledge? Or
oh my goodness, there are too many to name. One would be Halimakua, another would be John Kila Lake, another would be Sam Ka'ai. These people are pillars in our community, and that goes for Auntie Lynette Paglinawan. These are healers. These are people who have spent their entire lives giving, in terms of that servant leadership. And for this deep ʻIke Hawaii as well, I mean, the list goes on. I have I've had the good fortune of having many good teachers. Yeah, so.
And is there one message in your film that you really hope people walk away with? And I guess I also have that question for today's talk too, but I know those are two different questions.
Well, maybe I'll answer for today, because today was like a little bit of a high wire act. In other words, it wasn't an act, but it was an action. And I was trusting again that Halimakua and others were guiding, because I had never done that particular, I'd never experienced and set up a room like that before. And I just thought, my God, this would be perfect, because what we need to do is to hear each other with that compassion and empathy. But if we think we're looking at the same thing and we're not, then that really causes huge issues and miscommunication. So I was hoping exactly that what happened today, which was a deep appreciation for other and the opportunity to feel compassion for story, especially those stories that we don't know, because we're presented with people and opportunities that oftentimes we really don't know the origin of or the backstory of. And that actually was a great lesson for me to also relearn, because I got to hear it affirmed by numbers of people today. And the movie Ho'okuikahi was such a privilege, because the men asked me to do this. And what I find is the men who are really searching their souls for their femininity, as in the feminine aspect of who they are. It's so important, because women, we've always had to come up to the male counterpart of that aspect in us, as in energy, to even meet them, So for me, what I'm hoping in that piece is that people begin to acknowledge that there is a unification that really needs to happen with spirit. And it has to do with a balancing of both of those energies. And I think maybe that's what did come through that, but it's like anything else. You can only do your work and then hope for the best. And work is never done by oneself. So my work is always done with teams of people. And for them, each and every one, I'm grateful for, whether it's a film, a mural, anything. There's always a great team that comes with a project. So I just want to thank everybody out there who always is part of a team, because it's about kako. It's about we together. And that really makes a difference. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that felt like a good ending, and it could be. But I'm also curious, you'd said us creatives.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what art forms you do?
You know, I degreed in photography, believe it or not, but you can't really teach a lot of that to a lot of people because it just doesn't work like that. So then you have to learn how to teach drawing and painting and ceramics. And so I kind of do a little bit and a lot of everything. And then I came to film myself in the late 80s because I wanted to document our culture and my family and what they did. And so I came to film, and then I wanted to write a book. So I wrote a book on education, to transform education through arting and writing. And then, you know, I love to make prints, but most importantly, I love to teach because I get to learn. So I'm really a teacher and a dreamer. And I love to travel for that reason, because culture is an answer for me. Culture and arts, they are the answer in terms of not only communicating and expressing something about oneself, but also, doggone it, I did it again, but also getting to have windows into culture. And you do that through the arts, you know, you do that through the cultural practices. So that's all of those things. Plus, you know, I'm a mom, and I think that's my greatest work, actually, if you want to know the truth. So, yeah.
Any chance did you make that bowl? Or?
You know what? I want to be able to learn how to turn a bowl, but I'm a little on the concerned side because it's not easy. And I have a lot of tool sets to still learn about. So this is certainly one of them, but it intrigues me, as many things do. So, no, I didn't, but I love it. Anyway,
Beautiful.
Thank you.